Hello everyone, it's your favorite FGC VTuber here. So we're having another weird controversy. I mean, I didn't think this would happen, but I guess to a degree. So I've seen this in comments, I've seen a slight video before, and apparently somewhere on Twitter. And we have a video right here, whatever. And it's basically, oh, what is a real fighting game or whatever. So all you need to know right now, the context is that Dragon Ball FighterZ came out recently. Obviously, I've been playing it myself, having a grand old time. And it's specifically Budokai Tenkaichi, right? That's something that you guys have the theme in the background. Huge, you know, it's actually something I played way before thing, right? Now, the whole context, so I played Dragon Ball FighterZ or Budokai Tenkaichi way before I ever got into fighting games, right? Or traditional fighting games, to specify. And then I got into NBC and I was like, whoa, you know, huge difference thing, right? Now, the whole thing is that they're saying, oh man, you know, they're saying right here, yeah, fucking, oh, you know, what is a real fighting game? So here's the main discussion that every time it says it, right? When the FGC is calling something that's not a fighting game or that's not a real fighting game, what they are referring to is that it is not a traditional 2D fighting game, right? You know, I think part of the problem is, I guess it's the same thing with terms. I think they're really bloated, and I said it's stupid. The real crux of the problem, in my opinion, is actually language. Because at the end of the day, if you throw hands, it's a fighting game. Like, that's that's the whole thing, right? Clearly, we're throwing hands, right? Like, obviously, Smash, Naruto, and technically, in that sense, Call of Duty is a fighting game. That's why I hate the term RPG, because it's so loaded. Like, every game is a role-playing game, but we kind of get what we're talking about, right? So, and in some sense, I feel people who are getting butthurt. Maybe some people, okay, no, it's a fighting game. Either one, they're kind of dumb, and they don't get, you know, human language. Like, no, we get it, right? But when we say it, and FGC, and even normies can get it, but when what the FGC means when they're saying, oh, again, like I said before, when Smash is in a fighting game, oh, Naruto is in a fighting game, is that, again, we have a chart right here. This is what we mean. It is not in the same category as this, as a traditional 2D game, right? That and it's true. They're just inherently not the same. Like a platformer fighter is not the same as an arena fighter, and so on and so forth. And granted, some things can carry on, you know, for sure. Like some skills can carry on, but for the most part, you know, going to arena platformer, quite a bit different. But then hopping on from like literally anything from here to here, omega fucking difference. Not counting this one. The other is just that's an oddity, right? But generally, obviously, fighting game is a very bloated term. That's why to me, when I say things, I like to refer to the competitive arcade fighting games. You can't mess that up. You know, like that's where I'm to the point is the FGC, we need to use that more proper term. It's like, oh, well, whatever, even though Street Fighter was one of the founders of it, we gotta realize there's other things, and you have to, like, say when people say Metroidvania or some bullshit, whatever. But, so that's the thing, right? People are just being fucking stupid. That's the core. But then the final one, see, this is what people, oh, but it actually is. So one reason, this is the main thing, what it is with the FGC, why we even make such a distinction. It's not just simply because they're different. I mean, I think that is a very important thing to the average person. It's the fact that this side over here is inherently harder than this side over here, right? These games require more skill, dedication, and commitment to get good. And this is not a secret to anybody, right? That's a different conversation in itself, in my opinion. Because like I said, clearly they're all fighting games, right? If that's the people that are getting on, you're kind of idiots. But when people are saying that they're not fighting games, is that we're not the same type. That's number one. And number two, the most important, this is, I guess, some people in the FGC and people from this side get butthurt about, is that, yeah, these are way harder. And that's not a discussion, they are. And mind you, actually, I'm going to do a series I've been thinking of doing. It's called how MLG something is, or how hard or how difficult or how much depth it has. Objectively, like I'll take actual things, stands, measurements, whatever. I actually was researching a bit of this stuff yesterday. So look forward to that if you want to see objectively how hard or how much skill it takes to play a game like Budokai Tenkaichi. And I'll tell you this much. And this is coming from someone, like, this is not even biased. I got into fighting games last, like 2D competitive arcade games. And I like hard games. I don't care about what genre, this or that, whatever. But with Budokai Tenkaichi, I want it to be like MLG. I want it to have depth, right? There's some game, like same with Armored Core. I'm gonna look into that one. It's my favorite one. There's someone like, okay, you know, because I remember playing like, oh man, this game's fucking sick. I'll say this much: playing Budokai Tenkaichi 4, I hate Sparking Zero is a stupid name. It has a surprising amount of defensive depth. Like that is the thing I am enjoying the most. The execution is looking very lackluster. It definitely has issues. The other problem is I would probably have a review out right now as it is, but I can't even get on fucking Glide to get a badge. You know, that's my current problem right now, right? And I'll do problems for all the other ones, but I would say for the majority of these, they're not that hard. And I'll even discuss, and again, with actual science, objective, and facts, you know, whatnot. Actually a well-put thing, because too many people come in with their... Literally, at the end of the day, this is what it is. Like, to a degree, it's definitely some fighting game people, whatever, but they come from a place, right? Because I've said it before. When I got into fighting games, I realized there is nothing quite like fighting games, right? And Even in my channel, you guys go check it out. We talked about the Vibecast too, which is going to be up soon. Fighting games are, this side right here, are inherently harder than other genres. And one of the things I made is they're trying to compare a sub-genre to an entire, you know, like, because if we took all fighting games, no, they're not harder, right? Naruto is as easy as Final Fantasy, and it's as easy as COD. But comparing Naruto, COD, or FF to fucking Tekken is asinine.
Think of it as the amount of stuff that a game asks you to keep track of at any one time. When a Tekken combo looks like this...
What button is the star?
How the do you press all of this and this simultaneously? How do you do this? You literally cannot. How?
And an Arena Fighter combo looks like this. You know you're dealing with two very different levels of required game knowledge.
Like, this game literally has 100 fucking moves! How are you gonna compare it to a game with, like, 3? It's like, oh, there's different combos. Homie, mashing square and then pressing the analog in a different direction is not another move, dog. Fuck no. But you have characters like, oh yeah, triangle, circle, where this one does. We're saying on triangle, circle, this one. It's the same motion, and then like, homie, but then back square with Lars is not the same as back square with Kazuya. What are you on about, bro? And it's the same level of execution. But yeah, that's something I just wanted to add my 2 cents on. If you guys want to hear more about how these are inherently harder than other whole genres, because like I said, comparing a whole genre to a subgenre is kind of asinine. Because obviously this is the hardest of that entire genre, and comparing, like I said, because this is the same for shooters. Like I said, we got like, I think they got 3, right? So we got like, oh, you know, your arcade shooters, realistic, and arena shooters. I would put it off into that 3, right? And even within then there's different difficulties. Like, I'm gonna be honest, as far as difficulty, controversial, I think 3D fighters are the easiest next to Mortal Kombat. Mortal Kombat is the easiest, and so I think also I would argue that a lot of the 5D ones are pretty easy too. Versus games are definitely hard. Anime ones are pretty hard. Grounded fighting games are oddly the hardest ones. You think the anime ones would be, but no, it's the grounded ones, especially KOF. Very crazy thing. Again, a lot of these games are going to get looked over like objectively as much as possible. And like I said, I'm going to have a whole science down to it and everything, so prepare to look forward to that. But again, if you guys want, go over to my channel and check out why fighting games are inherently harder than... Actually, you know, I even have it here in my bookmarks because we did it right here. Check it out, 30 minutes. I go in much more detail, specifically even comparing it to sports and what my opinion determines any sport. But yeah, with that being said, please look forward to my video discussing how competitive, or you know, that's the word too, competitive, right? And competitive Dragon Ball Fighters. I'll tell you this much as a mini spoiler, I think it definitely has some good roots for competitive. Kind of like the same thing with like Naruto, right? Like, it has like a good basis, but it can get very boring quickly. I think that's more for Naruto. I think Dragon Ball, I mean, this is my opinion right now, as it stands, it's not objective. I think Dragon Ball definitely has more depth than Naruto, for sure. Especially defense. It's not even a question, I'm gonna be honest. But as to how much, you know, and I gotta play a lot with my homie to see, is it something I can see myself playing hours, like something like Street Fighter or Tekken, where there's a lot of shit to dig yourself into, right? And I want, mind you, this is someone who wants Dragon Ball to be at the level like a traditional fighter, right? You know, there are some games that I just inherently like a lot, like same with Armored Core. I'm hoping for Armored Core to be at that level as well. But it's really hard to compete with something like a fucking goddamn fighting game or a fucking game like Tarkov. Those games, you look at them and you go, damn, that shit's hard. You know, like, fuck. But with that being said, thank you very much, you guys. This is my thoughts, and of course breaking down the whole, again, and the biggest problem, I'll say this much, everyone who's been saying, oh, they've been getting butthurt, you could tell they're being all opinion. Oh, because, oh, it's elitism. It has nothing to do with elitism. It really doesn't. Like seriously, bro, like seriously, if you actually did ass play, and the biggest thing is Dragon Ball has the biggest fucking scrubs when I seen. Like, too many people bitch about fighters, and there was shitty Xenoverse players, and Xenoverse is ass. Like, at the end of the day, just admit you suck. At the end of the day, like, be low-key honest with yourself, you suck. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, here's the better way to put it. If you're a Dragon Ball Xenoverse player, you try to play fighters, right? You get clapped. But if a fighters player went to Xenoverse, they could actually fight you. That's just an indicator of how hard your game is, right? That's really what it is a piss. It comes, oh, my game's actually hard, whatever. That's really what it is. But, like, no. None of these people are actually competitive or know what it takes to be competitive. And they don't even do shit like frame data and shit. You know, like, I know I'm trying to listen to a scrub, which is like the same thing if anyone puts any comments about some stupid, like, unless you actually have a synopsis and you send me, like, a well-written article, like, oh, I'm not going to listen to you. It's just a scrub. You know? Like, yeah. Whatever, regardless, I'm dragging on as long as it is, but regardless, feel free to like, subscribe, whatever, and check out Dragon Ball content that I'll have. Not too much, right? But I've been having fun, like I said. I just wish the online fucking worked. I don't know how anyone's getting matches online, dude. I can't get shit.